Christ Game Saga, Part 3 of Infinity. The Spiritual Duel Parable. The Spiritual Duel Parable. It's going to be an interesting parable I would like to share with you. It's going to be quite a sizable nerd parable as well, if you'd like to bear with it or if you can bear with it. But it's going to incorporate the shield and sword parable. It's also going to incorporate the 14 projects. It's also going to incorporate the spiritual reawakening hierarchy listing, or the spiritual reawakening process, or should I say the 4-step process to soul liberation globally. It's going to incorporate it all. So the spiritual duel parable. Spiritual duel, a part of my Christ logic or Christ game saga. First of all, what are the Christ games? Christ games. So far, I have been talking to you and I have played many Christ games on you so far, like the Super Jesus 47 Christ game. I've also played the Soul Football Christ game on you. I've also played what can be labeled and described as the 4 spiritual intellectual technique strike game on you, or the 4 SIT strike game. I played that on you, where I introduced the concept of how to turn all of the 7,139 known languages in the world today into one language. You follow what I'm saying? That's a part of the 4 SIT strike game. The 4 sit nation, situation, sit you nation. I have a 4 SIT strategy combo for you nations to stop you from killing each other and cause you to live and let live. Moving forward. So, this parable right here, why am I calling it the Christ Game Saga though? I played many games on you so far. I just listed off a few of them. Why is it also called the Christ Game Saga? Think about the literal definition of the word Christ. And also think about the literal definition of the word game, or one of the literal definitions of the word game. The definition of the word Christ is simply this: the title, also treated as a name, given to Jesus. And then there's also another one, an oath, used to express irritation or dismay. Used to express irritation or dismay. Here, think about this for a second. What is the only thing this world does to all of us? Irritate us or dismay us, and then do what? Tells us not to talk about it, meaning suffer peacefully, right? Isn't that what everything that this world tells us to do? So, if you tap into the Christ mind, you are not going to withhold the truth at all. You're just going to tell it. So the truth can become everyone's foundation once again. Play the Christ games. Play the Christ games. Remember what I said. The first 3 projects, they're all going to be sweet on the tongue. Just all talking and talking and talking and talking. All talking, you remember. This Christ games is how it's going to, or be another way it's going to effectively transition the plantation of the conviction, or the foundation, or the natural divine ethnic group, the soul tribe. You follow what I'm saying? So, the spiritual duel parable. Just want to say it out loud. This is a new parable right here, but it's going to incorporate a lot of things that I've been talking about thus far. It's kind of interesting to talk about as well, if you want to listen. Like I said, it's going to be a rather sizable nerd parable. If you're familiar with the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, this is going to make a lot more sense to you as I label and describe it. But the thing is, I'm in reality with it. Because don't ever forget, everything that we have from the 4th belief system, or the 4th artificial ethnic group, or the 4th artificial foundation, everything that we're receiving from the 4th artificial foundation, the nerding indoor geek culture, meaning every this belief system pillar categorizes all the rich, middle class, and poverty-stricken people worldwide who are only the way they are due to colonization, including Hollywood. Remember, everything that comes from this entertainment field was all designed to make you gluttonous for what does not make sense at all. You follow what I'm saying? Whatever does not make sense, they make you gluttonous for. This is what everything in entertainment is for, to make you gluttonous for what doesn't make sense. Moving forward. So, I'm just going to flip it and make as much make sense as possible with this here spiritual duel parable that I came up with. So, spiritual duel. If you're familiar with the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, this will make a lot more sense to you. It's going to be a one card combo in a way, in a sense. It's going to be a one-hit kill combo. Due to the situation that the opposing side of the field is within right now. If you want to take a listen to this here parable. So, it's going to be set up as so. The so-called card deck. 40 cards in the deck, right? Well, you know, in this deck right here, it's not going to be called a deck. You want to know what it's going to be called? The Foundation of Knowledge. The card deck is going to be called the Foundation of Knowledge, right? Now see, my Foundation of Knowledge has 40, not cards, but they're going to be called SSTs. I'm going to have 40 SSTs in this here parable that I'm making up in this here main deck. There are 40 SSTs. What is an SST? A spirit soul trait. A spirit soul trait. So I'm going to have 40 spirit soul traits within this here Foundation of Knowledge. I got 40 spirit soul traits within this Foundation of Knowledge. I should say I have 47 spirit soul traits within this Foundation of Knowledge, huh? Just to make the game sound more interesting. Yeah, 47. Yeah, I'm going to say I got 47 spirit soul traits within this Foundation of Knowledge. Sure. That's how much the main deck is right there, or the Foundation of Knowledge. I got 47 spirit soul traits. Now watch this. My hand. Did you know in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have a set of cards in your hand, you know, that you start off with, right? So the hand is going to be called the cargo. So my cargo is going to hold my 5 spirit soul traits. I got 5 spirit soul traits that you start off with, right? Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. It is my turn to make my move. I draw my 5 spirit soul traits into my cargo from my Foundation of Knowledge. And look, I have my ultimate key card or ultimate key spirit soul trait in my hand. What is my ultimate key spirit soul trait? The Christ Father God body. Or should I say alone, just the Christ Father in my hand. You see. So, from my hand, I am going to summon the Christ Father. You see. Or from my cargo, I am going to summon the Christ Father in attack mode. But see, here's the thing though. When the Christ Father is first summoned in attack mode, it becomes what can be labeled and described as a peace pal or a peace attack. Because as soon as the Christ Father is summoned within the spirit, because the field that we are on right now is the soul field. The field that the game is being played on right now is the soul field, right? I'm going to explain more details as I go. It's the soul field. And then we have an opposing enemy on the other end. It's the source of all immoral authority. The source of all immoral authority is the opposing player here. And the player that I am right now is the source of all moral authority. And I'm playing against the source of all immoral authority. And we're on the soul field playing right now. And right now the soul field is very artificial. It is. Let's talk more about it. So here's what happens, right? I summon the Christ Father in the spirit in attack mode. Peace pal. First thing that the Christ Father does when he is summoned in the spirit is he recognizes the situation that the other side of the field is in. And right now, currently, on the other side of the field, here's what's going down. 4 things. The poison foundational field of war, hatred, division, and stagnance, and/or the manifesting of what's evil, ugly, abnormal, and artificial. That's the first thing that the Christ Father is noticing when he's first summoned. Then he also notices the second thing. the people that are pinned down on top of the foundational grounds, causing it to be what it is. Third thing the Christ Father is noticing here, the sword in the people, or the object in the people that is specifically designed to keep them pinned down with their foundation so artificial and misled astray. A sword. Just a sword, though. And then the final thing, the source of all immoral authority, in which is holding on to the sword to keep the family body pinned down to the evil, ugly, abnormal, and artificial foundation. Or should I say the evil, ugly, abnormal, and artificial surface, full of war, hatred, division, and stagnance, full of everything that is wrong and needs to be led right by accident or by force and by any moral means necessary. Moving forward, though. So, the Christ Father is summoned in the spirit. This is the first thing he recognizes, peace pal. Why do I say a peace pal? Because his attack points are 0. Yeah, the Christ Father's attack and defense points are 0 right now. But he has a special effect. It's called the love bomb effect. The love bomb. So, in other words, as soon as the Christ Father is summoned in the spirit, your entire artificial field becomes destroyed. It's just a parable, man. Fun thoughts to toss around. So yeah. So his peace power attack. Analyze the situation. Reawakening. Then his love bomb effect. Love effect. The Christ Father's love effect. The Christ God Father's love effect. When he's summoned in the spirit. First thing the Christ Father does when he's summoned in the spirit is brings awareness to you that he's in the spirit. And the next thing that happens in the spirit is that the field that it's on or that got summoned to gets destroyed by accident or by automatically. That's his effect. Moving forward, right? And then he's the following effect. Now, the field that you're all on is going to be destroyed by any moral means necessary, and it's going to go from a foundational field of war, hatred, division, and stagnance to peace, love, unity, and advancement. Just by summoning the Christ Father in the spirit destroys the foundation. But here's the thing. The sword is still in the family body, and the source of all immoral authority is still holding on to the sword. So the parable continues then. Spiritual duel, peace pals, love bombs, unity spells, and advancement traps. Speaking of unity spells, since I just spoiled my whole story by accident. Unity spell. The Christ Father has a final effect. Once he is successfully summoned into the spiritual zone, or to the soul zone, and it destroys the field there, he has a special effect. You can add 1 unity spell from your foundation of knowledge to your cargo. You can add 1 unity spell spirit soul trait from your foundation of knowledge to your cargo. Remember, cargo is the hand. Unity spell now. Here's where it's about to get a bit spicy. It's like I said, it's a 1-card combo. I just summoned 1 dude. 1 thing in the spirit, and that was the Christ Father. Remember, I summoned him in attack mode, peace pal, and his effect activated love bomb, destroyed the foundation, the artificial foundation, and replaced it with the natural one, the nothingness one. But wait, there's more. Now the third play, his final piece of his effect, I get to add a unity spell from my foundation of knowledge to my cargo. Unity spell. What is the name of this unity spell? Balanced integrity. So I'm going to activate balanced integrity in the spirit, right? I activate the imbalanced integrity unity spell card in the spirit, or unity spiritual soul trait in a spirit soul trait, SST. I'm going to say that again more clearly. So I'm going to activate the balanced integrity spirit soul trait, unity spell in the spirit. I still said it wrong. I'm going to activate the balanced integrity unity spell spirit trait in the spirit. That's what I'm going to activate, right? And once I activate that, what ultimately happens is this. A whole slew of combos go down, because here's this card's, or here's this spirit soul trait's effect. This spirit soul trait's effect, balanced integrity, This spirit soul trait's effect, balance, integrity. What will it do to help my parable make more sense to the people who may be listening still to this point? Because I know it's a big nerd one. It's a big nerd parable, but it's going to label and describe everything and clearly. And it's a fun way to do it. Well, I take everything the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. Even Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes no sense. Everything that the enemy provides us as far as entertainment makes no sense. That's why it's provided unto us, because we were made to be gluttonous for what doesn't make sense. That's what all the entertainment of the world is. Gluttony for what doesn't make sense. Look at it closely. Think about all of your fighting games where people with swords and guns are cutting people with no armor on, and you just taking a few chips off the damage meter. But what would happen in real life if that happened? Instant death. Exactly. Moving forward though. So yeah, check it. The spirit soul trait unity spell known as balance integrity added from my foundation of knowledge to my cargo. I'm going to activate it in the spirit now, or on the soul grounds that are now clear of any artificial field that used to be there, but this still needs structure. This is what this combo is going to do next. So this is a big card that has this is a big spirit soul trait that has a big long-lasting impact, and it will have a big long-lasting impact in the physical once it's activated. Now watch this. Once this unity spell known as balanced integrity is activated in the spirit soul trait's abilities or effect is as follows. 6 things happen next. The first one, from my foundation of knowledge, activate the field spell known as the Blood Gang Paradise. Blood Gang. Translation: brotherly love over our depression. God answering Negro Gordian knots. That's the first arm, or the first spirit soul trait, or the first field card. It's a field spell. It's a field unity spell activated due to that balance integrity unity spell card, unity spell spirit soul trait I just activated. It's just a fun parable to think out loud, man. The second arm, the Crip continuous balanced integrity spell. Crip Gang. Translation: community revolution in progress. God answering Negro Gordian knots. Continuous spell. That activates next. First the Blood Gang Paradise activates, then the Crip Gang continuous spell activates. But then the Unity spell has more. It has even more. The Balance Integrity Unity spell has even more. So check it out. The third one. This one is going to be another spiritual, say, avatar. Because the Christ Father is the first avatar on the field in the spirit. And now I got another one to support him. But this is going to be more so of a union spirit avatar. Right? And the third one is going to be not titled The Gangster Disciples. And when the third one is brought from the foundation of knowledge to the soul field, what it's going to do to the Christ Father, or with the Christ Father, is this. It's going to unionize and become another quote-unquote unity spell in a sense. Because in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, right, they got these things called union monsters. And these union monsters, what they do is they combine with the monster on the field already to become a more powerful monster. Yeah, so check it out. When the GDs, growth and development, GDs, God answering Negro Gordian knots disciples, when they are summoned due to the unity spell effect, when they are summoned in the spirit, they hook up with the Christ Father and become its third arm, as the field card is and the continuous spell is, or the field spirit soul trait, the new spirit soul trait, as well as that one, the Crip. Now we got the third one, the gangster disciples becoming the third arm there, the GDs becoming the third arm. And what happens when the GDs hook on to the Christ Father? You can activate any type of trap you want to. In the first turn it gets to your hand. Also, too, it makes the defense of the monster or the defense of the spirit avatar it's equipped to infinite. Meaning the GDs, once they are hooked up to the Christ Father, they become Africa's greatest defenders. When the GDs are hooked up to the Christ Father in spirit, they become Alkebulan's greatest defenders. But then there's more. There's 3 more combos that this one spirit soul trait in this one turn is activating all together, right? So check it. The 4th one, after the greatest defenders are now hooked up to the Christ Father, I get to now add a certain trap card to my hand. And it's going to be titled, or not trap card, but let's say Spirit Soul Trait Trap. I get to add 1 Spirit Soul Trait Trap to from my foundation of knowledge to my cargo. And what is the one I'm going to add? The 4th arm. The Vice Lord Gang. The Vice Lord Gang in this parable is going to be an advancement trap for later. So, the next 2 gangs, or the next 2 Spirit Soul traits, a part of this combo, becomes Jamaica. The Jamaican gangs, the 5th one. Now, when the Jamaican gangs are played to the field here in this here parable of mine, what is a parable? A parable is a short story. It's supposed to be a short story, but it's a rather sizable nerd parable. A parable is a short story used to label and describe moral and or spiritual upliftance, and I am trying to uplift you all into a infinite dimensional thinking mind and or a 9-dimensional thinking mind. Of course, you have to go through the 8 and the 7 and the 6 and the 5 and the 4 and the 3 that you're currently in. You have to get out of, but you'll still rise up. I got faith in all of humanity here. I really do. I have a lot of faith in humanity. That's why I'm speaking, even in my current position. Doesn't matter. Moving forward, let's land the parable so you can know why I'm saying it. The 4th card, or the 4th Spirit Soul trait, adds to my cargo, meaning my hand. My hand is my cargo, and the Spirit Soul traits go from my foundational knowledge to my cargo, where I have to just, whip them out. So this is what happens next. Oh, by the way, the Unity Spell card can only, or the Unity Spell Spirit Soul trait can only be activated in the spirit if the Christ Father is on the field and destroyed any other field at play. So, now, all of the fields are destroyed, the Christ Father is on the field, and moving on with the combo, the 1-card combo, right? So, Vice Lords are in my hand as the advancement trap I'm getting ready to play soon. I can play it right now due to the Union card or Union Spirit Soul trait, or I could just wait for a moment, which is what I'm going to do. Then the Jamaican gangs, they get summoned as a spirit avatar, as the Christ Father is, right next to him, as the 5th arm. And then the Haitian gangs also get summoned right next to the Christ Father. They're on both sides, the left and the right here. The Jamaican gangs to the left in this parable, just a parable. The Jamaican gangs to the left in this parable, and I can see myself with 6 arms for some reason now. I can start to see it. And then the Haitian gangs to the right. They are just 2 of the arms on the field. And what happens when these 2 arms are on the field? The Christ Father God's attack strength becomes infinite. So now you got infinite attack and infinite defense, right? So now you are ready to face what is ahead of you. So here's what the situation is, now that you are set and almost ready. So I'm going to take the Vice Lord card and set it in play there. And it's going to tell you what it's going to do in a second. Or the Vice Lord Spirit Soul trait, and set it as the trap, the advancement trap I'm getting ready to use. Because the thing is, even though all of that went down, guess what? The Christ Father can't attack yet. He can't attack yet. Because you all are not ready. You're all not learning fast enough. That's why I'm saying these ridiculous, wacky parables like this, so it can maybe sink in somehow. And hurry up and replace the foundation so you can have somewhere better to come from. Think about this for a moment. Would you go to war if what was telling you to go to war was destroyed? Would you? You do realize you're only going to war due to the foundation you're all standing on, right? If this one gets introduced, meaning if the Christ Father successfully gets summoned in the spirit like I want him to be, it destroys your foundation. It destroys your artificial foundation. It destroys it. Replaces it with his. You'll see how it's going to work. Just give it a moment. Let me land this wacky parable right quick. So here you go. So, I got my Vice Lord's advancement trap set because I'm getting ready to play it. So, during my enemy's turn, because now since I can't move yet, but I have my Christ Father with infinite attack and infinite defense due to me having the Jamaican and Haitian gangs, as well as the infinite greatest defenders on my crew. Alkebulant's greatest defenders on my crew as well. And then we're also on the field play. Now, what is all of this setup giving me to label and describe it? It is giving my Christ Father a chance to be unstoppable, and his way a chance to be unstoppable, and the ability to refuse with the rest of his body, the abilities to be unstoppable. Because here's the thing, that family body of minds that you have pinned down the most, what it is in actuality are the tribes and the religions all in one, as well as the foundation and the gangs imprisoned to the wrong way of thinking. But once the foundation, my foundation, is restored properly, I'll get in the gang's head so severely that they'll live to protect our people and themselves. The gangsters are, for me personally, man, just for me personally, when it comes to all of this here, that's my bread and butter. Without them, nothing works for me personally. As long as they exist. I need to mention this right quick. Speaking of wacky parables, I need to mention this to probably put it in the spirit so you can all figure out a way to maybe avoid it or something, you know? Everything that they put in these movies is something that tells us something subliminally, right? I had a vision due to this prison release force idea that I have, prison release force team. I had a vision due to what they put in one of their movies, that if we were to come to that moment, they would line all of the prisoners up in front of their doors and execute them on sight. They put things they do to us in movies. They put things they're going to do to us in shows and TV shows. Have you ever seen in season 3 of The Walking Dead? Have you ever seen that one episode of the season 3 of The Walking Dead when they lined the prisoners up and shot them all to death? If we don't do something now, yeah, they said they did it because it was an outbreak, Well, what's happening right now? A truth outbreak. A truth outbreak is occurring right now, so none of that is far from our reality. None of that, most of the things that happen in these TV shows is not too far from our reality anymore. It really ain't, because these people only want us to suffer till death. The two cultures we have here going head to head can't blend. One culture wants you to die while the other culture only wants to live. One culture only wants you to die while the other culture only wants you to live. They can't blend. It's impossible. Want to know why? Because the other culture is going to keep trying to kill the other culture that just wants to live. That is the stupidest thing to even try to consider forcing that to coexist. As a matter of fact, if you want that to coexist, you're evil. Get all the way out of my reality. Here, this parable might help. So it's the enemy's turn now, right? Now during the enemy's foundation of knowledge draw, right? I activate my trap card, or I activate my trap spiritual trait, the Vice Lords. Now, what does the Vice Lord trap do? Or what does the Vice Lord advancement trap do? It causes 4 things to happen. Once I'm at full power, you become full power. The reawakening, the reincarnation, the resurrection, and the renewal. How can I explain this more thoroughly? What am I saying here? It's just a parable. It's all just a parable here. To encourage you all somewhere in you to do something somehow. It's a fun way to think about it, maybe. So, during my opponent's turn, draw, right? I activate the advancement trap, Vice Lord gang. I activate the advancement spirit soul trait trap, Vice Lord gang. It's just a combo parable, piecing it together, right? Vice Lord activates, right? So now my Christ Father with infinite attack and infinite defense can attack. And the thing is, the way the field is set up right now on the opponent's field, you just got the rest of my family body stabbed down into your grounds right now, stabbed down into artificial grounds. So trap card activates. All 6 arms release. Now we are in the proper way to progress. Now we have brotherly love over our depression in our faces. Now we are a community revolution truly in progress. Now we have all become the greatest defenders necessary to carry out this task. And we have a goal to replace the Lord who is stabbing over our people right now currently. But you can believe whatever you want in that field right there. So, with the power of the Jamaican and the Haitian gangs, MLK March X 1000 on Africa. That's what it is. That's what the Vice Lord advancement trap is going to allow me to do. MLK March X 1000 on Africa. Right? I'm at full power now. I got all the gang, I got all 6 arms, and we're just gonna knock off the enemy surveillance, meaning kick the devil off of the sword that is pinning the sword into the family body. Like during the source of all immoral authorities, like draw phase, we're just gonna activate the card and just get it over with immediately and fast. Because here's what happens. If the Christ Father successfully beats any kind of anything, you gain no other way to come back to fight him again. So meaning, as soon as you draw, the trap activates. The Christ Father attacks in spirit to take out the devil. In spirit to take out the devil. In spirit to take out the devil. It's just in reality, it's going to look like a MLK March X 1000. In the physical, it's going to look like MLK March X 1000 when I activate this trap here, this advancement trap. That's all that's going to happen. Now y'all can take it. Don't worry about it. Don't be afraid, man. These just words I'm putting together, man. Just tossing words out here, So MLK March X 1000 in the physical reality. This is what the trap gonna do. Gonna be at full power, have all 6 arms. So the trap, Christ Father, in the spirit, gonna attack the devil, knock it clean off of all of us, and leave the sword exposed. Oh, did I forget to mention the sword has the ability to extend so far and deep and tear through the planet to the point where it can be in the atmosphere of the planet. Want to know why it has the ability to do this? Because evil things can only get worse over time. They cannot get better. Evil things can only get worse over time. They cannot get better. So the sword that is being bored into my family right now, if it doesn't get stopped or if the ability for the sword to be bored into it is not taken away, it will ultimately pin them down into the hell for all of eternity. So here's what ultimately happened, or here's how you could stop the sword from extending. Here's how you can stop the sword from extending. Destroy the artificial foundation, giving the sword the ability to extend. Destroy the artificial ground foundation that is giving the sword the abilities to extend, meaning make it steel. The sword cannot penetrate anymore. Or it cannot go any further or deeper, or poison anymore. What is a sword? The sword on the surface level Well, the sword, let's see. The sword is all the recessive people who serve the devil and who serve the devil directly. The foundational grounds are us and or the planet. They are being used as a weapon to drill into my family body, which is us, the foundational grounds, and the people of the world in which the sword is being bored into. The recessive people globally are being used to be bored against us, to manifest what's evil, ugly, abnormal, and artificial to and through us, and also all throughout the world today. This makes sense to you. I don't really need to use too many examples or need to name too many government officials. In reality, they just need to be stopped. Nothing else needs to happen to them. They just need to be stopped. They just need to be stopped. Evil just needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. Wouldn't you agree? We know everything that they are. We know everything that they're about. Now it's just time to stop them, and stop them only. No forgiveness. Just stop them, right? So, advancement trap activates. Vice Lord gang. The sixth arm. Soon as the devil draws, I attack the devil. Or as soon as the source of all immoral authority, I attack the devil spirit or avatar that the source of all immoral authority has summoned on the field right now currently and control over my own spirit avatar. Like a change of heart. Like a change of heart spell take or something like that. You know, I'm trying to use my parable for the Yu-Gi-Oh parable, but moving forward. So, but due to the sword into the family body is on the opposite side of the field and stuck there right now, unless I do something to remove the monster holding the sword into the family body on the grounds. The monster holding the sword into the family body on the ground. So as soon as you draw, or as soon as you start your turn, trap, attack with infinite attack. You cannot stop this at all, not even a little bit. All you got are the four things on your side. I destroyed your field. Every other effect is dead now. The sword can't extend anymore. Moving forward. Attack. Hit the devil. Hit the devil. Falls off the sword and gets destroyed. If Christ's Father destroys anything you have, you will not have anything else to fight back with after the fact. So that means your entire cargo, your entire spirit soul trait cargo, after I attack, gets banished. Your graveyard or your spirit soul trait discard pile gets banished. And everything you have on your side of the field, except for my family body, gets removed from the frickin' play. Just a parable. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh parable. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. It gets banished. Like the Black Lotus Soldier deck. You know, just banish everything, yeah. Shield and sword armor, Black Luster Soldier, yeah. All of that. But yeah, he got 6 arms though. Banished. Any way that you can possibly have to ruin the Christ Father's way ever again gets removed from your abilities to do so. Gone. Banished. I will dig up your bones and cremate them. Banished. You don't even get a chance to be properly buried anymore. Banished. So remove all enemy surveillance, right? That's during your draw phase. Because that card got destroyed, or that spirit avatar got destroyed in the game. So boom, bow, gone, right? And then what ultimately happens is that you lose all the spirit soul traits in your hand because you're pure evil. You don't need to even discuss anything else anymore after the fact. You're pure evil. So just lose all of your abilities to fight back right now. That's what happens if you lose a monster, or if you lose a spirit avatar in the spirit to the Christ Father. That's what happens if you lose one thing to the Christ Father. And that's all I needed to do was attack one thing on your side of the field. That was the devil holding the sword in. So now that the demon has been kicked off the sword over the family body, I draw the sword out and I sheathe it by force. Then I spiritually fuse with the family body, because that's where I was in the first place. I was a part of this being or this entity in the first place that was being bored down with that sword. I'm a part of this being. I was a part of it, Project 6. Because the MLK March takes 1,000, that's 4. 5, removing enemy surveillance, punch the devil in the face, get her off of the sword, take the sword out and sheath it, Project 6. Sheathing the sword and soul fusion is Project 6. Sheathing the sword and soul fusion is Project 6. Like I said, this parable is going to roll out into reality. You see what I'm saying? So sheathing the sword and soul fusion is Project 6. Sheath the sword, soul fusion. Boom, bow, right? And then, afterwards, the source of all immoral authority becomes wide open, because not only do I take the sword and sheath it, which was the devil's last ultimate weapon that it had to destroy our people, but I am also remixed with the people. So that means I am finally the whole sun soul once again. I am finally the entire first sun soul once again. I got the sword sheathed, I got my body all back together, and my soul fused together. My spirit soul fused together. So in other words, as soon as I pop the devil off the body, what it had control on comes back to my side of the field and joins us and makes my Christ Father even more powerful. Christ Father will be invincible. The Christ Father is going to win the entire duel. This is the spiritual duel parable. So Project 6, right? Project 6. Global Soul Liberation and Global Child Manumission. Or no, that's Project 5. Project 5 was socking the devil off, she fusion, back to my side of the field to see what you're about to do next. Because once I attacked and destroyed that, you lost all your spirit soul traits, and they all in the banished zone now. Everything you lost it. So what you gonna do now? In your turn. Okay, my turn again. Now, Project 6. Back to my turn, because you lost your ability to do anything. Yeah, that's how powerful that entire combo was. As soon as you drew, you lost. And that's how powerful the combo is. If you follow with me to this point here, as soon as the devil drew or tried to do anything after that, or as soon as I did all that stuff, as soon as it drew, it lost. It was over with immediately. That's how powerful Christ is. Moving forward now. So, we are going to keep on telling the truth, or keep on saying things that'll express certain types of irritation so that it'll stop the oppressive body from doing so. Remember, Christ-minded people, whether you are immortal-minded, whether you are immortal Christ-minded or immortal Christian mind, it doesn't make any difference. Everything you do and say will contribute to the Father's cause of replacing the fake artificial foundations with the one real one that we all need to stand on for the rest of our natural days. John 14:6, the way. Moving forward. So, Project 6, right? We just cleared your entire field in a blink of an eye with just one combo. And now I stand on my side of the field with an infinite Christ Father and everything on the planet united. Project 6. At least that's how it's going to play out in the physical. Everybody's going to be united by Project 5, by the end of Project 5. And in Project 6, you get the settlement reinstilled by having a good conversation with me about it. God's kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Ashe, or amen. But here's the kicker, though. We just won the game, right? Like I said, the war ends by Project 6. But here's the thing, though. There's a Project 7 attacking the life points directly. Because it's my turn again, right? Draw phase. I found from my foundational knowledge, a spirit soul trait. Don't need to put anything on the field because the Christ Father is invincible at this point. I just need to finish the game, right? Well, here's where Project 7 comes into play, and this is what I haven't been telling you. And if you stuck with me all the way to this point, get ready to hear this crazy, bizarre truth next. Here's another crazy, bizarre truth. Project 7 is actually going to be the most dangerous project out of all of them. Why? Because it's cleaning out the oceans. What's all in those oceans? Attacking the enemy directly, attacking the enemy's life points directly, attacking the source of all immoral authorities' life points directly. If you know what the Yu-Gi-Oh game is, then you'll know what I mean when I say that parable. Attacking the source of all immoral authority directly. Attacking the source of all immoral authority directly. What's in those oceans, my dear family? What are all in those oceans? Do you know? Well, in Project 7, no matter what you want to do or say, we're going to find out. Because in order for us all to be immortal, like I keep promising you we're going to be, we need every drop of water on the planet purged from the toxins within them. And when we go for that goal, we're going to unearth just this one thing. In those oceans that alone causes a lot of mayhem and distress in the world today. And jealousy and chaos and hatred. And the conscious mind to take life and the abilities to live them accurately. The subconscious mind of war, hatred, division, and stagnance. And the physical body of what appears to be the white people only being the major problem of the planet. But in reality, it's just her, the devil, and her agenda in them. And then whatever they put on the surface comes to the foundation, us. We are their foundation. The devil sees itself as our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. As the so-called white race or the recessives globally are the devil's physical body. Or should I say the sword? The living sword itself, bored in. While the devil is the conscious and the subconscious that holds the physical sword into the body. So we beat the crap out of the devil spirit avatar that's holding the sword into the body. The concepts, the principles. Take life in the abilities to live them accurately, or war, hatred, division, and stagnance. Cause it by any moral means necessary. Once we destroy that foundational premise, we sheathe the sword. Take control over it. Fuse with the rest of the spirit body. Fuse with the rest of the family body. Everybody comes home. Project 5 done. Project 6, have a talk. Sword is sheathed. Knowledge is settled. Ready to move forward. Ready to do better. Project 7. What's all going to happen when we use those ES-11 armors to clean out these oceans, huh? I guess we're going to find out. Because in order to reclaim the true logos, in order for us to reclaim the logos like we rightfully deserve to do, what's in those oceans has to be removed out of them by any moral means necessary. I know what's in them. You all do too. You're just acting like you don't. But all the stories point directly there. What's truly in those oceans is the reason we have such an evil logos as we do today. So Project 7 will be able to take care of that if y'all allow it to when the time comes. But that's a spirit soul parable though, or that's a spiritual duel parable though. Peace piles, love bombs, unity spells, and advancement traps. Now to recap, the peace pile was the summon. The love bomb was the field destruction. The unity spell was that big combo that summoned the 6 arms. And the advancement trap was the attack of the 6-armed Cosmic Father. And once the 6-armed Cosmic Father made his attack, it destroyed the devil, causing the devil to lose control over the sword. And the family body it has pinned down. Sword sheath, soul fused, super powerful. Sword can't even hurt us no more. But now we draw the sword. And we get ready to cut down the devil and its influence over us and reclaim the world logos as we know it. Bore the sword into the foundation. The logos foundation. We already destroyed the first one. But now everything else that she's trying to make us do, destroy that next. Complete and absolute soul freedom permanently. And then we finish the next 7 projects that I don't need to talk about for this video. But hopefully you got that though. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the spiritual duel parable of the Christ game saga. And the spiritual duel parable consists of peace piles, love bombs, unity spells, and advancement traps. Therefore, peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.